Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Elder Trolls Gaming Podcast. If you are new and joining us, we are three brothers who get together and talk about gaming. We may also talk tech, TV, movies, and other nerdy, geeky stuff too. But first, we got Nasty Nate's here. That's me.
Take it easy, Jono here. That's me.
And I'm Dandolph the Wise. That's me.
And today we'll be discussing God of War Ragnarok.
Wow.
Yeah.
Non-spoiler cast.
Non-spoilers.
No spoilers. Hopefully.
Non-spoilers. But first, how you guys doing? How you guys doing here?
Pretty good. Friday night here. We're recording on an evening. Not usual. This is not normal.
No.
It is darker. You can see my lighting is different.
Yep.
It's
Why
a
are
fun
we
little
change. Why are we
do
recording
this.
on a Friday night? Because Nasty Nate is going to Mexico on Sunday.
To get nasty.
You going to visit one of them Mexican stink holes? Oh my god. Okay.
Man,
I believe it's pronounced sinkhole.
Okay.
Aren't they called cenotes?
Sun stink notes.
That is the...
Remember we went in those
the
bad
Mexican one.
boys? Last time we were in Mexico.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was weird though, man, because like you can't see the bottom, you know, when you jump in and you're just like, how far does it go?
yeah,
and
man.
what's down there?
Scary. Scary stink holes.
Yeah.
I haven't been down south in like 4 years. So.
Hmm.
Gonna be
Well,
good.
the last time you went was when we went, no? 20, wasn't it 20,
That was when
Seven?
I got married.
2017?
No, I think I went the year after.
Oh,
I think I went the year
I
after.
don't remember. I don't recall.
But, yeah, it's going to be a good time.
cool.
Probably
And
gonna
I'm
be
dog
drinking.
sitting.
Probably gonna be a lot
Oh.
of drinking.
Yes.
Speaking
Yeah.
of drinking, I lost my fantasy hockey week, and I owe a chug. That is the penalty for losing. So I figured I'd do it here on
chug?
on the podcast. I have to chug a drink.
Uh-oh.
So
Well, what are you
I have
drinking?
here. I'm drinking a Vizzy, a seltzer.
Oh,
This is a
how you going to chug that?
asshole cherry or Acerola cherry, and I got this cool
Oh, nice.
the prancing pony. I
Cool.
don't know if you can
The
see that.
prancing
It's this
pony.
little thing. So I'm gonna pour from here to here. Let it be shown that I am pouring. This is hard to do.
I can't even see it, so it looks like you're just
Well,
faking it. You big
okay, well.
faker.
Yeah, there's nothing in his mug.
Okay, it's there. I don't know how much. Like it's fizzing all over my keyboard.
Stop!
Yeah, I think I can see it now.
Okay, I'm gonna have to chug this now.
You can
How you
just
gonna
do fancy
chug that? It's very
ales.
carbonated,
You can drink them
no?
Yeah,
by
sing
the
that.
flagon.
Sing it,
But
sing
the
it.
only brew for the brave and
True.
true comes from the green dragon. Ooh.
I'll chug a whole fucking bottle and lug shred.
And there you have it. That's for the
Slug.
that's for the boys.
Nice. I've got a Cottage
but-
Springs vodka soda for fast, effective relief.
Delicious.
That's a
Oh yeah, very good.
seltzer as well. Now I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
go get another one actually because I'm empty.
While I'm in Mexico, I'm going to come back with a bigger brain, guys, because I bought a book.
Is it
This-
how to read for dummies?
I can't read this.
I don't think you meet the minimum
It's a picture book.
requirement.
No, it's The Psychology of Video Games by Celia Hodent.
Really?
It's only 100
Interesting.
pages, so I should be able to read it.
Only
Front-
100 pages.
Front to back.
Does that even count as a book? That sounds like a magazine.
It's a
magazine,
pamphlet.
isn't it?
It's a magazine. It's a pamphlet.
I bought a book, guys.
It has 3 pages. Back
And
to
it
back.
opens like this.
Okay.
fuck.
Well,
All right.
let's get on with
Yikes.
it here. This is going to be a long one, probably.
All right. Let's head over to game time.
Oh, okay. Let's do that.
All right. Let's start off with what we're playing currently.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Guys, what are you guys playing?
The topic of the day is God of War Ragnarok.
Mm.
However, I had not played the original 2018 or any other God of War before that. So, last weekend, I started playing God of War 2018, the PS5 enhanced version,
Oh,
and I binged it. I beat it in 2 days, the main story.
Fuck yeah.
I've been playing God of War all week, basically. But I've also been playing. I'll talk a little bit more God of War like after.
Yep.
But I was playing more Modern Warfare 2, and I've been playing Ground War, different game mode. Ground War. I started playing with the boys because my buddy Al and Greg bought it, and we started throwing into Ground Wars instead of the regular multiplayer, which I don't really like that much. You know what I mean?
The multiplayer or the ground war?
The multiplayer, like the 6v6
Okay.
stuff. I was hating it. I hated it.
Yeah.
But the Ground War is very cool. It's like Battlefield. It's more like Battlefield, like Control in Battlefield or in Apex,
yeah.
the Control mode.
That's the
It's
best
awesome.
mode.
It's awesome. It's so much better. So much fucking better. And your guns level faster in it. I was going up
win-win.
multiple levels. Multiple levels per match. Whereas like playing a multiplayer game for like 10 minutes, I would get half a level on my fucking gun. Like it was horrible. But this one, your guns go up like crazy. It's way better. So anyone listening who's playing Modern Warfare 2 and you want to lever your guns for Warzone 2.0, which comes out next week or this week as you're listening to this, Ground War. I mean,
so why
it's a
do
no-brainer.
the guns go up? Why do the guns level faster?
I don't know. I wonder
in
if there's
this
like a multiplier for like actual XP, not just gun XP.
Are
You
they
can
longer
get-
games?
Oh, maybe.
They're longer, yes, but it still doesn't even compare. It doesn't compare at all. It's like I went up 4 levels on a gun one match, and the matches are like 20
Oh,
minutes.
sweet.
Less than 20 minutes probably, but like to go up 4 levels in a multiplayer, I would have to play like 5 or 6. Like it would take forever, and I didn't even get as many kills. Like I got like 12 kills in a Ground War, and I went up 4 levels. It's a no-brainer. Play Ground War. It's a slower game. It gets you more ready for Warzone, I think, and I think they're gonna use kind of pieces of those maps are from the new Warzone map, maybe, possibly. Because I
When's
think
that?
on the last one, on the last
tomorrow.
game, the Ground War maps were part of Verdansk, so it might translate.
When is Warzone 2? Tomorrow?
The 16th.
Oh, I thought it was 12th.
Oh, it's
So
coming.
yes,
Wow.
so tomorrow, as people are listening to this, tomorrow, because it's Tuesday.
That's what I meant.
If you're listening to it, if you're a diehard fan and listen to us day of drop, tomorrow is Warzone 2.0. Anyway, moving on. Dan, what about you?
Cool. I have been playing Cyberpunk because the update came out.
Ooh.
Version 1.61. I've been playing Sea of Thieves. I have been playing God of War Ragnarok. I'm kind of all over the map here. Most of the efforts have been pretty equally split. Me and Jason were playing Sea of Thieves the other night, and we had a pretty funny little story I wanted to tell you guys, actually. We were doing this. We just had a little casual, fun night playing, and the last hoorah before we wanted to sign off.
Hoorah!
We were doing a little sea fort where you can just go and kill a phantom captain, get the key, get all the treasure, whatever. And once we were done with all that, actually, in this case, we weren't getting treasure. That's a whole other story entirely. But we were finished playing. I was like, all right, I'm going to log off. But we have these 3 powder kegs in the fort that I want to put on deck and go and fuck someone up with, just as the last hoorah. So I was like, okay. So I grabbed them all. I put them right around the mast. And I was like, oh, there's a galleon at that outpost. Right over there. So I was like,
someone else's ship.
yes, a player ship, an enemy player PvP ship by the nearest outpost. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna sail, but I'm gonna turn our little sloop into a floating bomb, like a huge nuclear
You always
freaking
do
bomb.
this, don't you?
This is only the second time, to be fair. I showed you the first one though. That was great. But anyway, so I put them all around the mast, and I was like, all right, Jason, let's go. So we set off, and I was briefing him. I was like, right before we get there, I was like, I want you to jump off. Otherwise, no one's going to see what happens when we light this shit because we're all going to die. So I was like, anyway, and he was all high because he likes to smoke before he plays. So
wait, so you wanted the cap? You wanted the clip? So you wanted him to get
I wanted to get a clip. And I wanted
point.
I wanted to just see what happened anyway. I didn't want to die because 3 powder kegs, if you're anywhere near that, you're dead.
Okay, did you get a clip of it?
I didn't get a clip because it all happened so fast. But anyway,
continue.
So we start floating toward this galleon, and I was like, beep, 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 pulling up the sails. So we start slowing down, and we're just coasting right alongside them. I was like, I lit it, and you had to just jump off. And I was screaming, I was like, Jason, get off the ship! Because we're all gonna die. No one's gonna see what happens. So we both jumped off, and boom, everything explodes, and the whole galleon, like a galleon in the dock, is like, whoosh, like the whole thing just shudders. It's awesome. And so I was like, okay, we have to see what happened. I don't even know where these guys are. So we both jump onto their galleon, and our hearts are just going like 160.
Oh, you didn't know if they were on the ship or not?
I had no idea. So I just sailed by and just lit them up. So we got on the galleon. We went below deck to see how much damage it had done. And on a galleon, there's 2 levels. And if you fill that bottom level and it starts getting up to the second one, that's pretty dangerous for them, especially if there's holes in the second level. So their whole bottom level was already filled. And I was like, okay, we need a plan. I was like, before they arrive, because they're still not here, we're just in their galleon. I was like, I'll pump the water barrel, and you just bail water onto the floor, and it fills up the ship. So, and it's something we didn't really know until recently. So I was like, let's just try that and see if we can sink them. So I'm just like, I'm just pumping that barrel, and Jason's like,
so you're filling their ship with water?
We filled their ship entirely up to like head level on the second level, just by bailing water onto the floor. And that's when they came down the stairs. And they just start shooting at us, and we get in a scuffle. And the only thing is we both died. So I don't know if they sank or not, but I'm 98% sure, because if their bottom level was full, the second level was full, and they didn't go down there and start patching, they were done. So it was just really funny because you could imagine coming down your stairs in the galleon and seeing these guys. You know what I mean? Just bailing water on the floor. Man, I wish I could have seen that. It would have been so funny.
If they got the clip, that would be funny.
I know. I wish I should have sent him a message or something.
That's actually fucking hilarious.
Can you clip that for me?
Yeah.
Can you clip my grievance for me?
Can you clip that for me, bro?
Oh man, did you clip us griefing you, man?
Oh man.
So that was my
He
funny
reports
Sea of
you.
Thieves story. We had a blast because I don't even know what ended up happening. It's just funny because they could have. I didn't think I had any treasure or anything. We just right there in the bay. They could have just started.
This
or
is
they
what
could
a
have been
legendary captain does in Sea of Thieves,
That's right.
ladies and
There's
gentlemen.
nothing else to do. I got all night and nothing else to do.
Taffer.
Well, what about you, Nasty?
Oh, well, I've been playing Overwatch 2 like a lot.
I played
A
some
lot.
actually. I played a little
A
bit
lot.
with my with our nephew, our 14-year-old nephew,
Yeah.
young kid.
Young buck.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
you were there. You played with
I
him.
was there. I'm on
Oh, yeah.
level like 65 of the battle pass. I'm almost done. Just
Wow.
killing it.
I'm at
Killing it
level
in the
30.
unranked matches. Once I go into a ranked match, I get completely stomped. Like completely fucking stomped. And I know why now. Their matchmaking apparently is completely broken. And all these top level guys are beating on bronze people. So that's why I'm like, I go into a ranked match and I can't even get a fucking kill. Like maybe 2 kills. In unranked, I'm leading the fucking thing. I'm like 30-2. I'm like 25-3. I'm like, this is easy mode. And then I go into ranked mode and I'm like, holy shit. I'm getting sniped in the face like I turn a corner, I just poke my head out just a little bit, and I get sniped. Like, it's unreal. In ranked mode, like, I get owned. So there's like right now there's no medium, so I can go in unranked and completely obliterate kids, or I can go unranked and obliterate kids, and then I can go into ranked and get my ass handed to me. So right now it's a flip flop.
Obliterate kids.
But right now I'm playing so much Lucio on PS5. Oh, it's
So you're
so
playing this on
fucking good.
PS5?
I'm playing a lot of it on PS5, yeah. Because I mapped
So
my
even in
buttons.
ranked on PS5, you get obliterated.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Because I've got 2 characters I play on PS5. I've got Ash, like I said before, and now I've got Lucio for my support that I play on PS5 because I mapped my back buttons.
Yes.
So
of
now
course.
I'm just jumping all over the walls and bopping and popping and popping.
Here's the thing. I actually saw Nick Merckx talk about this recently. He had a post that he talked about this, about playing Claw. You know, I don't know if you know what that is, but like high level controller players.
Right.
High level controller players will play, if they don't have back buttons, they'll use, can I get my fingers up here?
Yeah.
They'll
There
use
you
their
go.
fingers like up here like this to use the face buttons. That's Claw. But it's really hard to do, and it can't be good for your fucking hands.
No.
But if you don't do that, you have to have back paddles.
Yes.
You have to.
Yes.
Like, that's why I need back paddles when I play FPSs. Like, I need it because I'm not playing Claw. Like, I'm not doing it.
Maybe
You know
that's
what I
why I'm schooling kids is because I got back paddles.
Could be. I mean,
Because with Ash, I'm just like, bah, 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 and I'm like blowing up my TNT. Like I'll chuck my TNT and I'll blow it up, like 30 meters. Fucking boom! People just hate me. They come after me so bad after I blow them a few times. You know?
yeah, you blow
I mean-
them a few times. Give them a little blow job.
But Overwatch 2, been playing that. Next game from our last episode, we were talking about crowdfunding games. Everyone can go check that out. By the way, it's on YouTube and all your podcast streaming platforms. But Daniel was mentioning Kingdom Come Deliverance,
Mhm.
and I was like, man, I gotta play that
yeah.
again. And I jumped in, I modded the shit out of it on PC, and it fucking looks amazing. It looks real. It looks like I'm playing a real life game, and it is awesome. If you guys have not played that game, it goes on sale for like $10 every Steam sale. Like it gets pretty cheap. Go and get it. It is so good. If you like
$10.
Skyrim,
It's
If you
also
like
on
Skyrim-
console. It's also on console.
yep, and it
Yeah.
also goes on sale on console. Console a lot. But if you like Skyrim, if you like what's kind of like Skyrim and
It's
Witcher?
Skyrim mixed
I'd
with
say it's-
like Chivalry 2.
yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I'd say
That's
it's
exactly
Oblivion.
what it is.
More Oblivion mixed with Chivalry too. For,
Yeah, Oblivion.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
You know what
okay.
I mean. You know what
Yeah.
I mean.
But
for $10,
wow,
Kingdom Come Deliverance for $10 is a
it's so good.
great
so good.
value.
Wasn't it on Game Pass?
I don't think so.
Don't know.
But that's definitely a game that if you're
It's-
fans of those, go try it out.
It's been making me want to get into it a bit too, but I don't think I will.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
then
That's
And then,
excellent.
2 days ago, a day ago, I picked up Ragnarok and I've been playing it nonstop. Actually, I've been playing it so much that it's actually kind of bled into my work life.
Oh yes.
And my boss records the calls because I'm a tech support. He records the calls for training and whatever purposes, right? And he
Quality assurance reasons.
quality assurance and training purposes. And he sent me my recordings. And he's like, "Is there something wrong, Nate? Like, what's going on here?" If you want to play them the clip or play them the recordings there that I sent you guys, this is what happened.
Hi, can I get a password reset on my account?
You are careless. Do not let it happen again, boy.
Okay. My PC is so slow. Is there anything you could do about it?
No,
Are you serious?
I am always serious.
Well, I don't know.
Hi, I'm having issues with my email is the server down?
Best not to dwell on things, boy.
But I'm at work.
Enough!
Hello? When is the server going to be back up? I need to work.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Time will tell, boy.
Don't call me a boy.
And that's what it was.
Wow. That's a day in the life of
NATO's.
of a tech support. NATO's.
NATO's.
NATO's Contos.
Yeah, Contos. NATO's Contos.
Do we have to have a talk here, boss? Nathaniel, we've had some complaints that you've been rather short with people.
You've been obtuse. You're being obtuse.
Actually, no, they'd be like, Nathaniel, you've been a lot more polite recently.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Say, keep it up. You're doing great.
I don't know what you're doing, but it's working.
All right. Can we move on, please?
All right, guys, let's talk some gaming news. What do you guys got for us tonight?
I've got something. Listen, you guys have heard of this, I'm sure. Probably. But Henry Cavill is no longer going to be in The Witcher, the next Witcher. Like,
Season 4.
what are your thoughts on this? Did you read into this at all? Did you read into this at all?
I did. It's all over my feeds, you know.
This is news to me. So
Really? You didn't know
Yeah.
this?
I didn't know this. Because again, I don't really follow The Witcher right now.
Because you've never fucking seen it yet.
Okay, well, from what I've seen, diehard Witcher fans and fans in the books and the lore in general actually hated season 2.
Season 2, yeah.
And I guess Cavill is one of these people.
Mhm.
And he didn't like
Huh.
the direction that they were taking the show in, I guess. And he said, "Yeah, I'm out. I don't.
Wow.
Mhm.
I'm done."
So much so that he was like, nope.
Like that's crazy to me because as someone who's never read the books, I've only played the third game. Like I
Mhm.
don't care about that. I thought the second season was great. Like I
So did
liked it.
yeah.
Like what the fuck is this?
Huh.
So like it begs the question, like, can anyone ever make a show
that is faithful.
that is going to please everybody? It will never happen.
No, of course not.
Never happen. The same thing happened to Lord of the Rings. All the fucking lore nerds hated Rings of
Boy.
Power. They hated it,
Yeah,
but it was good.
I liked it. I
It
mean,
was
I'm a lore
good.
nerd, but I'm not a lore nerd like these guys. What's got Nerd of the Rings, shout out, and all the other.
Yeah,
I don't
like,
know that.
I
much
think
shit.
Nerd of the Rings enjoyed it, but he also was disappointed at a lot of stuff. But obviously,
yeah.
he is. Oh, I'm disappointed. Like this is kind of not accurate and blah blah. Yeah, okay, obviously,
Yeah, yeah.
but like,
You have
I
to have an
mean,
expectation. I feel like
come
these
on,
people
guys.
should know.
they need people who aren't lore nerds to watch the show and keep watching the show. So they
Yeah.
have to add things in. It's business. It has to happen.
Because there's more non-lore nerds than
Exactly.
Yeah,
lore nerds.
Like the Halo show. You think that they made that show for fans of the game?
Fuck no.
only no.
It's a show
Exclusively?
that they're putting on their network. They want everyone to watch it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
has to be
Like-
has to be
Like
what's
mom
the
and
word? Is
dad.
it relatable or accessible?
this-
Has to be
what's this
accessible.
Halo show?
Accessible.
It has to have lots of sex in it.
Yes.
Lots
Well,
of sex.
yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's what it means.
Though
Like,
I
that's
was
why
pretty
they-
upset. I was
That's why they
pretty
canceled
upset.
Rings of Power. No sex.
Yes, exactly. I was pretty upset that they didn't show any kind of nudity, penis, boobs. You know.
No dick, no nothing. Anyway, I gotta get that off my chest.
That is
That's
very
just
odd because who will now play Geralt? You
Oh,
know what I mean?
well, I'll tell you who will play Geralt. It
Oh.
is the brother of
Joaquin Phoenix.
Thor Odinson, Chris Hemsworth. The brother
Oh,
of Chris
really?
Hemsworth.
Liam.
Liam Hemsworth. Anyway,
What has
he's
he
gonna
been
play.
in? Oh my god, it's gonna be.
He was in the Hunger
terrible.
Games, I think, wasn't he?
Oh,
At one point.
great.
I don't know, man. This is just I'm actually devastated. I'm
Yeah.
devastated about this. I love Henry Cavill as Geralt.
He was fucking fantastic in that show.
Fuck. This is really obnoxious.
What are they gonna do? Just
Anyway.
plop him in, like paste them in like nothing happened. Like, that's so fucking stupid. Are they going to write some kind of alternate universe where Geralt goes through a portal and comes out looking like this guy? Like, what the hell are they going to
They
do?
can't stop, man. They can't fucking restart. It's been 2 seasons.
Wow.
They did it with Spartacus.
That was after 1. I had this chat with...
Huh.
Still, they're not going to
gaming-
remake a whole season,
I had
let
this,
alone 2.
I had this chat with Kelvin and Rob, okay, from the Gaming Duo podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out. They were talking about this too. But with Spartacus, it was only after 1 season. We weren't really connected to Buddy. You know what I mean? But 3 seasons with Cavill, and then
No, it was 2 seasons.
What?
But the next season was a prequel, so he wasn't in it, right? Because then he
Yes.
came back on the 3rd
Yeah.
season, and it was different.
Yeah.
Also,
It is
sick show.
jarring.
Go watch
Very-
Spartacus.
It's very jarring
Yeah.
when they have to replace an actor.
Daniel, did you see
Very-
Spartacus?
Daniel doesn't watch TV.
Oh,
Fucking
man.
guy. What
I
do you
watched the
do with
first-
your life? What are you fucking doing with your goddamn life?
I watched the first few
Man.
episodes of Spartacus. I was like, eh.
Oh, you would love it. You would absolutely love it. Love
don't know.
it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't really know if I want to watch The Witcher now, even more so. If they're replacing Henry, because I would take Henry over Liam.
Okay, you're not gonna watch The Witcher
I don't know.
the next
man.
season. I
I'm gonna
have to
play the
watch it. I've
game.
watched.
I feel like I should
seasons.
play the game before I watch the show, though, shouldn't I?
Okay, you
haven't
haven't
even-
played the game.
Never
I
played
played, like-
Witcher 3?
I played like 10 hours of the game, and I didn't.
Oh,
and I feel like I
okay.
didn't even scratch the surface.
No, you didn't.
No.
Neither did I, though.
What do you do? There's too much media. Everybody betray me. I'm fed up with this world.
What we need is a hyperbolic time chamber where I can just game for an eternity and then come back out and I'm still 30.
And watch movies
whatever
and
years
read
old.
comic books.
I just sit
Yeah.
in this bubble that
Just to
time doesn't
consume
pass.
Media.
Man, that's what the
Whoa.
hyperbolic time chamber should have been for. Not training,
Training. It's like,
playing
what do you mean?
games.
You had all this
watching
time
movies.
to train nasty, but you just played games and watched movies?
You just get your ass kicked by Frieza or something.
You had all this time to better yourself and
Yeah.
be everything you would want to be.
You could
in
also
life.
study, like hours of studying.
That's what I
years
mean.
of studying.
I would game. I
No,
would
we're
game. in that.
gaming. We're gaming. We're
Just-
gaming in the
Finish
hyperbolic
the
time
backlog. Finish the backlog.
Yeah.
chamber. Man, what a backlog tool that would be, the hyperbolic time chamber.
Hyper
Holy shit.
backlog chamber. I don't know. I don't.
The hyper backlog.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say never. I will never say never for watching The Witcher. I just do not know when that's gonna happen.
Okay, well, new AMD cards are coming out. They were announced. You
Yes.
like this?
I love
You
it.
like this? They confirmed the 7900 XTX will be competing with the RTX 4080, not the 4090. Now, they did their whole thing, the Vegas, all the content guys and everyone went out to Vegas to watch it, to be there. And everyone was kind of wondering why they didn't have any comparisons to the 4090 on all of their slides and everything like that.
Yep.
Well, afterwards, I think PC World got an interview with the guys who were from AMD, and they said, "Yeah, well, we're not competing with the 4090, so we're not going to put any comparison charts with the 4090 on there. We're competing with the 4080 that isn't out yet,
Yep.
so they don't have comparison charts. So they just showed kind of a bunch of stuff compared to their last gen frame rates on current games, stuff like that.
You know, it's greasy. Did you think NVIDIA knew that the XTX 79 XTX was going for the 4080? That's why they pulled the 4080, unreleased it, so they can release the 16 gigabyte one.
No, I think it just sucked.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, they knew their 4080 12 gig sucked.
No,
And
I
the
think it's because
79
people were online complaining about it and everything like that. I don't
Mm.
think it had much to do with this, but I think the 7900 XTX will probably be better than the 4080, and it's
Oh,
going
it's
to be
gonna be-
cheaper too.
It's going to be sick.
Well,
so, check it out.
Rasterized performance, not in ray tracing.
What just got released was, or leaked was, the benchmarks for the 4080 16 gig and the price. I was reading it on the shitter before I jumped on here.
Oh, really?
So, $1,200 USD
Mm-hmm.
for the 4080
$200 more than
Yep.
the AMD card.
but the performance is quite nice. It like almost doubles the 3080, which is pretty nice. I can't wait to see these two go head to head. The ray tracing performance on the new AMD cards is supposed to be on par with like 3090-ish.
That's pretty good. That's good.
That's
enough.
pretty fucking good.
For $200 cheaper than a 4080.
It's going to be better than the ray tracing performance that's on my card. Or
You know, right now is a great time to buy
Or
to
equal.
build a gaming PC. If you're in the market for an entry level gaming PC right now, it is such a good time to buy.
Hmm.
The fucking deals that are on right now.
ooh,
I just
What are
bought for
the
my server.
3090s at now?
Oh god, 3090 is like $1,500 probably
no,
Canadian.
remember I saw one on sale for $1,000
$1,000
Canadian.
bucks, yeah.
What?
And I almost snagged it. It was in my fucking cart. and I
How
almost
old
got
are they
it.
now? Did
A
we say
3090
2020?
non-TI?
Yeah,
A non-TI.
Founders Edition. I had in my cart.
And they
That's
came
pretty
out
good.
2020, right?
2020. 2 years
Yeah.
ago.
Right. Right. Same time as the
Like that's how much I paid for this fucking thing.
new
Anyway,
consoles.
what was I gonna say? What was I saying? What was I just saying? I was saying
Cheap.
something.
Cheap. Building.
Give me words. Give me words. Give me words.
Building computers.
yes.
entry-level
Yes,
computers.
that is it. That is what I was
Right.
saying. The deals right now, man, are crazy. I just upgraded my server, motherboard, CPU, and RAM. Less than $400 for a AMD 5600X,
Good one. Good card.
an Asus Prime B550 chipset,
That's mine.
pretty good, and a stick of 16 gig RAM. Boom.
Boom. Yep.
Less than $400. That's for my
Hmm.
server, and that would be a great base for gaming PC. Then you look at the deals that are happening on video cards right now. My buddy Al,
Tell
You
him about
just
the
bought-
AMD.
he just bought an AMD 6700 XT, which is a 3070-ish comparable, $499 Canadian.
Beauty.
Nice.
That
Fantastic.
plus the fucking deal from the motherboard and the CPU, less than $1,000 for your board, CPU, graphics card, RAM. All you need is a case and a power supply.
And
Maybe
an SSD.
$1,200 Canadian. Yeah, and an SSD. $1,200, $1,300 Canadian. That's fucking great. And that you'll get 100 plus FPS on most games. And you'll play all new games at over 60 frames per second. What else do you want? That is a gaming PC for a decent price.
Yeah. Come Black
Mhm.
Friday, SSDs go on sale like crazy. On
Yeah,
Black
that
Friday.
too.
I
Yeah,
might
crazy.
pick up. I might pick up a 2 terabyte because I'm running out of space because I got all these fucking games I install that I don't play that I gotta keep installing more. You know.
Okay, let's go back. Let me ask
got
you
a
this.
problem.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think AMD is coming out with a 4090 comparable?
Oh
'Cause
yes. 7950 XTX.
7950 because they got the
X.
7900.
Yep. Oh, yeah, yeah.
7950's got to be there,
How could
They
they
want-
not?
but it's not ready yet or something. Who knows?
Oh.
We have to assume
what
they
was his
will.
name? Moore's Law is dead. He says there's lots of gas left in the tank for the AMD stuff. You guys should go
Nice.
check him out if you're into that kind of stuff. He is
Man,
amazing.
the deal from AMD, the AMD shop, there was a 6750 XT. That's a
Yeah.
3070 comparable. It was on $403 Canadian.
Mhm.
That is so cheap.
All right, let's
that's
get
an
moving on
$800
here.
card. Anyway, I was gonna mention Star Citizen will be free to play for 2 weeks this month.
Shit.
2
be
weeks,
gone.
baby. I'm
Fuck.
gonna play it. I'm playing this. I am fucking playing.
I'm gonna
this
play it when I get back.
for free. 2 weeks. During the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, anyone can explore Star Citizen's incredible, persistent universe for free. For free. Even if you don't have a Star Citizen game package, you can try for free and fly to the in-game event in style, as we are providing every account with a starter ship as a loaner for the time of the convention. This
Nice.
is from their website.
The loner.
I am
So-
interested.
Yeah, what ship is
The
this?
loaner.
Bring around the loner. Just some piece of shit. Anyway, starting November 18th, and this is on November 18th, Each day, a different ship manufacturer will take over one of the expo halls for 48 hours. So there's something new to see every 2 days, and nearly everything on display will be available to test fly for free.
Wow.
Isn't this
That's
cool?
cool. That is cool.
I'm definitely going to check this out. Test fly some cool ships. See what it's all about. Maybe we could do an episode about it. If we,
I will
maybe. Yeah.
try
That
to
is
get him
cool.
on when I get back.
Because they're
Get
really
into-
playing with the fan base, right? And who's interested in playing. A little bit of interaction there, a little bit of engagement where it's like,
This is how they do things. That's how they do
Yeah.
it. Like
it's not so
I-
closed off like most developers where it's like you can't play it until it's out.
their website and their like communiques that they send out to people, it's like it's in real life. It's like, oh, we're gonna hold this. It's like because it's sent from Robert whatever Industries, whatever the thing is
Yeah.
in the game. So it's like it's real. It's like come down to the expo, you get to check out some ships.
Well,
It is
It's
cool.
really cool how they handle the that kind of aspect of the game. It's like if it's a real company, it's like they do it in real life. Because I've been to those kind of like
Is it a
expos.
convention? Exhibition?
Exhibition expo. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like
Spaceships?
like for example, I went to work I went to a thing called CanSec. I think it's called
Oh, yeah.
CanSec. You hear about CanSec?
Yep.
And it's like a big expo of weapons and communication and tech companies that come and show their stuff. Like I've seen some cool shit like armored friggin' cars and shit, armored trucks they have there on display. You can check them out, go inside them, like all the latest tech for radios,
They got
satellite
any
radios.
UFOs?
Yeah,
Show you any
drones.
UFOs?
UAPs.
Drones. They had a drone there. There was a big fucking drone there. Like it was sick. Like, and that's what this is kind of like. You can come and test fly the ship for free. It's so cool.
That
It's
is
so
cool.
cool.
Would
I'm
you
gonna
like
try
to
it.
test fly this drone that costs $50 million?
How would you like to own one of these babies for just $150 million?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, get this though. There was a bomb diffusing
Robot?
company, and guess what they used to control the robot?
An Xbox
Xbox.
controller.
PS4 controller.
Ah!
Damn.
That's so
Pretty
uncomfortable.
crazy, eh? Pretty cool. Anyway, it was cool. So
his hand cramps while he's trying to cut the fucking
he's
wire.
clawing he's like using the claw technique.
the claw, yeah, on the bomb control. Yes.
And you're like, oh,
fuck.
you got the claw technique. He's like, looks at you every time. Works
He's like,
every
he's
time.
got his hands are like this.
He's all fucked up and like, there's,
Yeah,
like,
but then he
stuck like that.
cramps up and he like cuts the wrong wire, and blows
Everyone
the fucking
explodes.
thing up.
Fuck, that's funny.
Oh,
All
man.
right. Well, did you have anything for news?
Well, I got Forza Horizon 5. It's got a big update that boosts the ray tracing. It's got NVIDIA DLSS 2 and AMD FSR 2. I believe it just got released the same night as God of War. So no one downloaded that,
Ooh,
I'm sure.
really?
Yeah. But I'll be playing that when I get back from Mexico, and I'm going to check out because it had a little bit of ray tracing, but now apparently it's even more so. Like they have a whole like options menu for the ray tracing, which is going to be quite nice.
Well, that
So-
might be it might be an interesting time to get into
Mm.
Forza because I'm not a big car guy, but I don't really mind I like the idea of racing games, of car games. Kind of cool.
Speaking of FSR 2.0,
It's nice. It's
Dan?
a nice game.
what do you got?
Cyberpunk, boys. Cyberpunk update 1.61 comes with full support for FSR 2.1. I
That
guess is the
is-
actual full. This is a big one. It's a big one. For unlocking, I feel like the potential of Cyberpunk on the Xbox Series X specifically, because I mean that's my experience. But also, we did talk about how the Series S is bottlenecking and limiting the next genality of.
This is good for
Series
that too,
X,
though.
for lack of a better word. Yes. Yeah, I guess.
Oh, it's amazing.
Definitely, it's
It's
a game
great for that.
changer.
For the lower spec hardware, These upscaling technologies are so good. They're such a good thing.
A lot of people said, "Oh, but FSR 2.1 can't come to Series S because of the processing power that FSR 2.1 needs." Well, they just fucking showed you now, didn't they? Okay, because it said it was coming to all next-gen consoles. Does Series S get it? Yes, it does. It's confirmed. It's official. Okay,
Nice.
It's locked at 60 FPS on performance mode and 30 FPS on quality mode, with no ray tracing in both modes. Which obviously because it's the Series S, but
Yeah.
like it looks and runs beautifully.
So did you try it on your Series S then?
No, I'd have
Cyberpunk?
to fucking buy it again.
Oh,
But
right.
I watched.
yeah. I forgot you have it on.
I'd buy it 8 times
PlayStation.
now.
So what, you have it on PS5, PC?
Yeah.
Same as
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's 1080p at 60 FPS, no ray tracing.
Mm.
Upscaled to 1440p, I believe.
Right. Yes.
Um,
And then upscaled again to 4K,
To whatever your- I guess your TV is.
whatever your TV is.
and then the quality mode is also 1080p, upscaled to 1440p at 30 FPS, no ray tracing. So the FSR 2.0 just gives you that a little bit more quality, and you can tell. Like, I was watching some videos, and even the textures were quite nice. Quite nice. And I also played it on the PS5 with it on quality mode.
Mm-hmm.
Was it quality mode?
I
And I
assume that's what you
find-
tried.
I find the gun, like the controls and the guns, way better now. Way better. Like before, it was so sluggish and slow. Like the guns, like the
Yeah.
gun movement. Now,
I think I
Yeah.
know exactly what you mean. Even on Xbox.
On PS5, it's, I don't know. I didn't find an issue with that.
oh, I did. What are you talking about? Remember how
Well,
you have to
Jonathan, you were on.
fiddle with all your controller settings?
Weren't you playing performance though? 60 FPS.
Yeah, but did they change the controller settings?
No, but
I feel like it's a frame rate thing with FSR.
yeah,
Improving
improving
the gun
that.
control. Right.
Okay,
You-
And
I
that
guess.
latency,
the
maybe.
perceivable gun
Yes.
control. I guess would be-
Yeah. Was that all that you had picked
Yeah,
up on,
go ahead.
Nathaniel? Okay,
Yeah.
because I noticed
I didn't get
that,
to play. I didn't get to play it for long.
Okay. Well, I'm on Series X, and after the 1.61 update, I had to load it up. It was like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night just to see it. I ended up playing for like a fucking hour and a half. Because I just noticed that it was definitely crisper. Now, not to an insane degree, but it is significant. But I noticed things like the film grain is more visible because it's higher resolution, so you can see that effect more. I definitely noticed, not necessarily with control. I did notice the control. There's a bit of a frame rate thing for sure, an improvement there. Just a bit of more smoother, just a little smoother. But I also noticed the textures of the guns looked far
Yes.
sharper
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
crisper.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, this definitely looks, and the big
That's
one
so
for me was I
cool.
was out in the Badlands at night. It was, nice and dark with the sky is like that twilight blue, and you're like looking out. And the skyline looked way better than I'd ever remembered it. And what I mean by that is the draw distance, like the buildings in the distance were all what looked like fully rendered, and they all had their little lights on them, like fully illuminated, each twinkling. And I was like, I don't remember it looking that good that far away. And I was like, okay, there seems to be something here.
Some
And then
magic happened.
yeah. And then during the day in the city, when you're driving around, distant buildings seem to render further away. So I'm not seeing those shitty, blotchy, unloaded textures of buildings in the distance anymore, which I have noted on this show before, I think, and in our group chat. I've mentioned that many times because it's always been a big one for me. It's kind of immersion breaking when you're like looking up and all these buildings that aren't very far away are like these disgusting, pasty.
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm not seeing that anymore. So it must have also given them the power to just render at a further draw distance, because I also noticed that with the
Because
trees.
the resolutions. Yeah.
Yeah, and the palm trees are the same way. Not very far away, they'd be these disgusting, like, pasty. But now you can see all the leaves, and they're, quite far. So
It's big.
I'm just noticing these things, and I think that in a phrase, the game now feels new gen. It feels next gen. now, I think, even just with this one little update. So it's going to
Nice.
prompt another wave of my playing it, just going through all the side jobs and stuff for sure.
I've been squawking about FSR for the longest time, and I couldn't wait for it to come to the consoles, and here it is. And
Yeah,
I
I've been
love
wanting
it.
to see it.
That's true. We have been mentioning this. We have talked about this before.
All right, guys, that does it for game time. We're going to head over to our episode topic, which is God of War. Okay, so God of War Ragnarok, everybody.
Wow.
God of War Ragnarok. This is a continuation of the PS4 2018 title God of War that was also enhanced for PS5. Made by Sony's Santa Monica Studio. They're a first-party developer for Sony. They made the first game as well. Ragnarok is the first cross-gen release in the God of War series, released on PS4 and PS5 simultaneously.
Hmm.
This is probably the most anticipated game of the year. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. It's pretty huge.
I would say so.
It's pretty huge.
Would you say that? I would say that. Like, what other game this year has been anticipated?
Has been hyped. This has been hyped. It was big. It was big. And I put a poll on Twitter. I was supposed to
Okay.
have that ready, but
I mean, Ben
don't.
Stiller was in the commercial, guys. It's
Exactly.
pretty hype.
I guess that's true.
And I said, I'll just give the three. I was like, is this getting overhyped? You know how movies get overhyped, shit gets overhyped, then you play it or you watch it, and it's just not as good as you wanted it to be, you know. And then it's like, then I said, oh, keep the hype coming, because I'll hype this all day. Or I don't know what Ragnarok. I don't know what God of War Ragnarok is. The consensus was keep the hype coming. Keep the hype.
You
coming.
did do this poll
I
already.
did this poll on Twitter. Yep. A couple
Okay,
weeks
cool.
ago.
Well, yeah,
With-
I would say it's the most anticipated game. I mean, I hadn't played the game before last weekend, or whatever the hell it was, and it was even on my radar like all year. I was like, man, okay, Ragnarok comes out in November. I have to play the first one before it comes out. Like, I've been thinking that for months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I've been hearing-
me,
I've
who
heard about it
hasn't
a
even
lot.
played the first one.
Yeah.
And I've been hyped to play this game, or anticipating this game.
You don't want the FOMO. You don't want the FOMO.
Yeah, the FOMO was real, and it
FOMO
was
was real.
pre-FOMO. It was like early FOMO,
Yeah.
premature FOMO. I had premature FOMO-shulation.
So Jonathan, why don't you bring us through?
Okay, for anyone who hasn't played the 2018 one, so you were like me before last weekend, I can set this up for you in a non-spoiler way. I can set this up in a very non-spoiler way, set you up for the 2018 God of War. Okay? The God of War series centers around the main character Kratos, who is a former Spartan soldier who became Greek God of War. But then he fled Greece following his war against Olympus. Like, this is all stuff that did happen
In the old games.
in the old games. So if you want to, skip this part, I guess, if you want to play from PS fucking 2 version onward. But I highly doubt there are many people who want to do that. Anyway, he fled Greece following his war against Olympus, and he's now living in exile in an ancient Scandinavia with his son Atreus.
Right. Which is cool. That's cool for me to hear because I didn't play the old ones. I mean, nor did you.
No.
So I'm kind of picking this up for the first time as well.
Okay. So he's living with his son Atreus. Now the 2018 game begins just after the death of his wife and Atreus' mother, Faye. And the game starts there and follows Kratos and Atreus as they try to bring Faye's ashes to rest at the top of the highest peak in all the realms. Okay.
Beautiful.
At her request. Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So the story just unfolds as you try to do this, and it's inspired and loosely based on Norse mythology, which we all love.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3 of us, we love Norse
Love it.
mythology. I remember when we were driving across Canada, we took an RV, for those listening, from Toronto to Vancouver. That is a long drive. I don't know. Go fucking look at your map, people who don't know Canada. This is a long ass drive. Anyway, we would read Norse mythology. Remember?
I had that little book.
Yeah. So we would read that while we were driving. Past time. Anyway, so the story unfolds as you try to do this with Kratos and Atreus, and you meet some great characters along the way, and you visit some very cool places, and some crazy things happen.
Yeah.
And that is the first game.
Yeah, I did watch a recap of that to kind of catch myself up.
Yeah.
Yes, because you
to
did not play.
No, I didn't, because I felt like this time around, ultimately, I thought I'd share this with you guys on the show, but when we were all talking about whether I should play the first or the 2018 and then play Ragnarok, I was like, "Oh, that's going to be a time crunch," because I kind of picked this up late, and ultimately, we had decided, okay, well, you could just play 2018 and not play Ragnarok, and you guys play Ragnarok. Then I can at least contribute to who Kratos is and Atreus and all that. But then I was like, yeah, but I don't want to be that schlub who didn't play
FOMO.
Ragnarok.
FOMO.
Yeah, FOMO. Big time FOMO. I was like, I don't want to be that
That's some
schlub
premature FOMO
that's
mutilation.
that's not going to play Ragnarok while I don't want to be the guy that's playing 2018 God of War while everyone's playing
Yeah.
Ragnarok.
You don't want to be that guy.
I was like, that's not going to fly.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
So, yeah. So I was like, fuck it. I'll watch a 20-minute recap. I had a few open, actually a lot. IGN did one. GameSpot did one. But I watched this other British dude. I don't remember his name, unfortunately. I can't shout him out. But that I'm glad I did that, because even the recap was beautiful, even though he's a very excitable British guy. Just the scenes he was showing, because he was doing clips from the whole game. So I was watching a lot of these scenes happen as he was talking about them, and they were still emotional in themselves and all that. So it was cool to see it that way, and I'm glad I did it there, because I started playing Ragnarok. I was like, okay, I feel like I'm enlightened. I'm illuminated. I'm caught up. So it was just as well, I think, to watch the recap. I could always go back and replay it, just like anyone else could if they watched recaps before Ragnarok. So I feel like I'm not missing out having watched the recap and playing Ragnarok, whereas I would have missed out playing 2018 and not playing Ragnarok.
I see. I see. You weighed your missouts. You weighed.
Yeah. So spending the $100 was ultimately the better decision, just to kind of be able to get caught up in that.
I want to tell everyone that
whirlwind.
this podcast cost us $303 Canadian, by the way. Each one of us had to buy this game for $89.99 Canadian dollars plus 13% HST, which is a harmonized sales tax, which we have to pay here in Ontario.
$101 and change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never paid that much for a fucking video game in my life.
Same, actually. Same.
Over $100. $101.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so
let's talk about Ragnarok.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it, fellas. So, what's our first one?
So, actually, our first one I wanted to ask you guys is, how many hours does everyone got in this? Currently, I'm at 18 hours, Golden Road story.
Oh my god.
I'm at 18 hours as well, but I've done a bunch of side quests and stuff too.
I'm not even close.
You're
I
probably
just picked this
further.
up.
You're probably further on than me.
Yeah, because I'm ripping through because I wanted to beat it before I get to Mexico, just so I don't have that lingering, what's happening to Kratos? What's going to happen to Kratos? You know?
What's
So
happening to Kratos, man?
That's true. I only got like 5 hours in because I just picked it up yesterday, and I only started playing it last night because I had that stupid friggin' that video.
Oh yeah, some
input issue.
troubleshooting.
Yeah, anyone on PlayStation 5, by the way, let's cover this, okay? Let's just briefly go in and tell them anyone playing God of War Ragnarok on PlayStation 5 needs to turn off VRR.
No, they don't need to. It's just you. It's just
What?
you.
Didn't you say you had to do
Maybe-
it on your Sony though?
Okay, it could depend on your TV. This would largely depend on your television. Largely.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
some people may have experienced this. For people who don't know, Dan Dolph launched the game and he saw the title screen and then got a black screen
Yes.
and still heard the sound happening in the background. Like it was playing, but he was just getting nothing sent to his television.
So we had to turn off. What were they, Jonathan? VRR, whatever the fuck that is.
I think the only thing you need to
Variable.
turn off is the 4K timing and your video output settings on the PS5.
I
You have
put that
to
to
set it
-2
-2
transfer rate, right? -2.
transfer rate. Yeah.
There was an AMA, ALM or some shit as well.
Your TV doesn't do
ALL.
any of that shit, so it doesn't
Alright.
matter.
There's some settings you got to turn off in order for God of War Ragnarok potentially to work. On your Samsung TV, it seemed like it was a pattern with Samsungs I was reading on Reddit. Anyway,
Oh, well,
That
I had
was
it on
my
my Sony
experience.
for a different game. Different.
Mm.
No, actually, when I plugged my PS5 very first time, plugged it into that TV, I had to do that.
jeez.
So it is a thing on some TVs. It's just the bandwidth between the HDMI, the console, and the TV. That's a setting to kind of, I don't know, change that or fix it.
Well, it was dealt with, and I got to play it.
Yeah, so for the performance, I started on my 32-inch 1440p gaming monitor with HDR. The HDR on this monitor is shit now because I'm so used to my OLED, and I've been spoiled. So I've been playing on my gaming monitor when I'm downstairs, and then I move up to my OLED upstairs. I can't imagine what this game
You
looks
move your
like.
PS5?
Yeah.
Wow. Commitment. Folks.
I can't imagine what this
Well,
looks
he's getting
like on
poisoned
Jonathan's
in the
TV.
basement, isn't he?
Yeah, it's exactly.
That's why he's fucking moved it. It's a health concern, a hazard.
Yes, well, it's part of it. Yes.
For those who don't know, Nasty Nate has a radon problem in his basement.
Yes.
I can't imagine what it looks like on Jonathan's TV. Like, it must be fucking insane because, like, the OLED or my Sony OLED looks beautiful, so nice.
I'll talk about it later.
And
but yeah.
like,
Mm.
oh man, and I don't know if there's a part. I don't know if you guys got to it, but in this game, there's a part where one of your companions throws like paint bombs. Looks like paint bombs, and it's very colorful.
Mm.
And I played that on my monitor, and I was I was just imagining what it could look like on Jonathan's TV or my TV upstairs. I was like, oh, it'd be so sick. I was like, why am I playing it down here?
Okay. You're getting into visuals, talking about graphics and visuals.
Mm.
This is performance.
Right. Quality mode versus performance. I chose quality. First,
really?
First on
Oh.
the gaming monitor, and it did not feel like 30 FPS to me.
Yeah. I
Did
also
it feel less than 30?
No.
Yes. Oh,
No.
really? Mine did. It's horrible.
So I don't know. I don't know what it was because my monitor's 1440p. Okay,
Oh,
so it
maybe.
might have done that weird switcheroo thing where it went to 40 FPS that they were talking about. I don't fucking know because all those graphics options that they were always talking about weren't there. It was just two switches, right? Hold on, I know you're gonna get to it. Okay, and all those graphics options didn't show up, and it might have to do with like what you're playing it on and what settings your TV has and all that shit, right? So then it just automatically switches to what's best for your TV or your display. So I'm thinking because I was on my gaming monitor at 1440p, it went to its 40 FPS because it felt good. It felt pretty good for quality mode.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I moved up to my 4K OLED, I changed it to performance because at that resolution, I can't tell any sort of difference because there's no ray trace shadows. There's no ray tracing in the game. It's just a quality. It's just a resolution difference between the performance and the quality mode. So I just switched it to performance and sitting back, however feet I am from the TV, fucking beautiful, beautiful.
Well, I could say that they gave the specs for all of the modes but they're not gonna label all that shit in the game.
Yeah, I'd like it.
So right now it's like you have quality mode, which is 30 FPS, 4K. Then you have performance mode, prefer performance or favor performance, which is a 60 FPS, target 4K. This is all if you're on a 4K monitor or display. And then there's a high frame rate mode, which is for TVs and displays that can do HDMI 2.1 and 120 hertz. So
right.
my TV can do this. And I gotta tell you, like, I had it on the favor performance, so that's base 60 FPS, and then plus high frame rate mode. So it puts it at 120 FPS.
They look like shit.
No, after the first cutscene there, the first cutscene that happens, that's locked at 60 FPS. I'm
Right.
pretty sure. So you can't tell. But once I started controlling Kratos, I was like, holy shit. I noticed it right away. I noticed it. And I was like, this is so fucking smooth. It was like grease lightning.
Yeah, I gotta get another TV.
It was crazy, man.
I've never.
It was
seen
crazy
that before.
because I have never seen that on a display that big. Have you ever seen 120 FPS on a 65-inch fucking display? It was crazy.
All I know is
like,
60.
I was like, oh my God, dude, this is crazy. So when you're turning, it's like, zhwa, zhwa, zhwa. It's so fast. I loved it. It's really cool. But I did notice some like jagged lines. You're going to notice a little more aliasing on some edges, but the textures still looked good.
Okay.
The textures looked good.
Did you find out what resolution it was running at the 120? Is it 1080?
It's
Upscale?
probably 1080 or close to maybe 1100
Yeah.
p or something like that. But I mean, I changed it to the quality mode, 30 FPS. No chance. No shot. Not happening. I will never. I don't care. I will never play at 30 FPS. Never.
Oh man.
Never. Anyway.
I did the same thing. I had selected quality first to try it, obviously, because I have to see quality first. And I was like, okay, I'll try performance now. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's a lot better. And then when I went back, because in this game, you don't have to quit, you don't have to exit after you've changed those settings, like Valhalla, right? In Valhalla, when you change that setting, you got to close the game down, go back in.
Fucking stupid.
But this is right on. Yeah, this is right on the fly with God of War Ragnarok, so you can just do that. And so I put it back to performance, and I was like, okay, I can't play this game because when I tried quality, it was 30 FPS.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Why? Why do we even have 30 FPS options anymore?
It sucks.
Who wants this shit?
For certain games,
nobody.
It sucks.
Nobody wants to play a game at 30 FPS. Just
it's just because we
rid of
have
it.
to.
Just
we have to.
get rid of it.
Because those people who want all the bells and whistles will sacrifice 30 FPS to see some ray tracing effects.
That's
like me.
idiotic. It's
No.
idiotic.
I do it.
Dumb.
I do
It's
it.
horrible. You would
No.
never play 30 FPS on your PC on
No,
a
I
fucking top
wouldn't.
of the line gaming PC. You play 30 FPS? No, you don't. So why would you do it on an $800, $700 console?
I have to. I have no choice. I have to see it. It
Yeah,
depends on the
It's
game.
horrible. It's so dumb.
With this game, I went back to 30 FPS, the quality, and I was like, this does not feel like a good 30. I was like, I can't play like that. It felt very choppy. More so than other
Cyberpunk?
games in 30, like
Oh,
Cyberpunk.
okay.
It felt like a worse 30 than other games in comparison. So I was like, I've got to go back. I can't do it. So
It was gross.
I went back to performance, and I haven't gone back. There wasn't a significant difference at all for me to select quality mode. There was no incentive. Especially when you're playing an action game like this, the 60 is the 60, but the 30
on
was
a game
pretty-
without ray tracing.
pretty rough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No reason
There's no reason.
to play 30 FPS.
Right.
Because when you're
So that
sitting
was-
that far back, from your TV, it's all resolution changes. You're not gonna.
Yeah,
You're not
a
gonna
lot of
fucking
people
notice it.
probably play, like, sit so far back from their televisions.
Mhm.
Like, do you know
I
what the THX like recommended? There's a recommended viewing angle for your size of TV.
Yeah, what is it? Inch.
I
per-
would guarantee most people are well outside of that range.
Yeah.
Like well outside of that range. It's supposed to be like 40 degrees between your eyeballs and the sides of the TV, like the angle.
I got my
People are probably
protractor out
like-
for that one.
Yeah, I
Oh,
only
I see.
sit 14 feet away from my 55-inch.
I put the protractors right on my eyes.
So it's a degrees thing. It's not a feet based on
viewing
how many
angle.
inches
It's a distance as well.
your
Well,
television
it's
is.
all relative. It's all relative because it's
Because it's the
maths.
same thing with studio monitors with speakers.
Mhm.
It's like if you've
Yeah.
got 3-foot spread, you are 3 equilateral triangle. You are 3 feet away. That's your listening spot. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's the what's THX? The
Mhm.
home theater, whatever that
yeah, THX.
that standard is. They have a recommended viewing angle
Mhm.
for movies that are THX certified, whatever, which is pretty much everything, I think.
cool.
And I think it's between 36 and 46 degrees or something. So that means that your TV's got to be a certain distance away from you, depending on
Yeah.
the size of it. Anyway, we're
Yeah.
rambling here.
Yes, you are. Okay,
Um,
so we're all doing performance mode. Yes?
Correct.
Everyone's doing
Yes.
performance mode.
yes.
All right. So, the Elder Trolls Gaming Podcast says to do performance mode. There you go. Okay, let's move it over to
What
the...
about a PS4? Do you think PS4 just runs 30 FPS?
Oh, yeah, piece of shit.
Yeah.
Toss it out the
Garbage.
window.
If you're on 30,
I'm going to get into this, the whole PS4 thing later, because we'll talk about it.
Just tweet it.
Let's head it over into our story discussion.
what about the
So far.
controls?
Should we do that first?
Yes, probably.
Okay, let's do controls. So heading into the controls part of this overview, these bothered me sometimes.
Mm.
Really? Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I got some things to
some
say.
of my inputs were missing. Not moving out of the way when I've obviously fucking moved out of the way.
yes, yes.
I've tried.
Yes.
I tried both
Yes.
my controllers, and it happened on both. So that was pissing me off. Like I tried to put
I
up my
have something
shield.
to say about that.
I tried to put up my shield, and it wasn't happening.
Really? I've not experienced that
Yeah,
yet.
I'm like smashing my shield button, and he's like, I'm just getting fucking punched in the face. Like, come on, Kratos. The other thing I found was super annoying was switching between the goddamn weapons. Okay,
Okay.
because later
just-
on
Okay.
you get
Right and
you
left
get
on the
more
D-pad?
wedding. You get more weddings. You get more weapons. Okay, and I don't know the way I get back to my axe from my blades or my. Well, I don't want to spoil it for you guys. From the other weapon, I'm like, how do I get my fucking? I'm getting pummeled in the face, and I'm trying to get my axe back. Oh, it
Oh, that's
Boils
because
my
you probably threw it.
boils my fucking
Yeah.
blood,
It's because you probably threw it, and,
and
you
I
need
forget
to
that I
recall
throw it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yes. Well, that's not a.
Can I get a
switching-
Can I get a visual
User
thing
error.
saying
User error.
saying your
Get good,
axe
bro.
is
Get
missing?
good, bro. Sounds like a skill issue, bro.
That
I was gonna say
fucking
that
bothers me.
Yeah, that's
Um,
happened many times.
I like switching between. It makes me feel like I'm dialed in when I'm like, because there's perks where you can do more damage if your
Yeah, yeah.
target is burning with your other one. So
Yes.
I'm constantly switching between them. So
Yeah.
I'm always hitting left and right on D-pad, pop,
no.
pop, pop, switching between them.
Just
'Cause
wait.
because of the way your skill tree might work.
Just wait.
But yeah, what about the haptic feedback?
I haven't noticed
It's
a
not
lot.
much.
Not
Like,
much, but
Like
there was a couple
Cyberpunk has
parts where I was
way
like,
more
"Ooh,
than
I
this.
like it."
Like,
Oh yeah,
you would
Cyberpunk definitely more.
you would think a game that's been touted like it's coming out for PS5, it's gonna be all this shit, blah, 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 and they're barely there.
Mm.
It's
They're
only when you like
barely
hit
there.
it's in quick time events more.
Yeah, it's like when I'm
Yeah.
hacking an ice block or something.
a nice block
Now,
or
do
like
you
pulling on
do
the
you see that
bow.
coming more in an update though? Maybe.
When I walk through the snow, I want the crunchiness punning through my buttons. You know?
What
You know?
buttons? Your joystick?
I don't know. They could have figured that out.
Yeah. Well, Valhalla did, so they should
Exactly,
They should
like,
be,
this is
they
a
should be taking
PS5
page out of that
game.
book.
That's true.
This is the reason people are buying PlayStations. Okay? This is the reason you have a PlayStation is to play this game and other first-party titles, and they didn't think a little bit more about the haptic feedback.
Now, like I said, it could come out as an update. They could be implementing more of that feedback through these updates that we've talked many times about, where they just have to keep patching it and coming up with shit. So it could be coming. It's just not, because it just came out. So we'll see. But yeah, I have noticed there isn't a lot yet, even in my handful of hours played.
I like that you can remap anything to anything. That's really good. That's almost like
Yes.
a PC game feature. You know what I mean? You can remap anything to any button.
Oh,
I
really?
love that.
Yep.
I love that.
I didn't bother.
More games should do this.
Yes.
It's amazing. But yeah, so I also turned on auto sprint. I don't know if you noticed this, but in the God of War 2018 that I played last weekend for 25 hours over 3 days, that game I found, I don't remember that being a thing, so I would have had like auto sprint on probably, because in that game when I wanted to dodge, I wanted to run out of the way, but I had to click on R like 3 or something, like,
I'm kind of used to that.
or
so I didn't
L3,
really
you know,
notice that.
like clicking on joystick buttons makes me cringe. I fucking hate it. I hate it. It feels like I'm breaking my controller whenever I
Yeah.
click on those buttons. I
'Cause
hate
you,
it. I
you have a tendency to
hate
go
using them.
and like just
I hate
ram your
using them,
thumb into the
dude.
fucking controller.
I can't stand using those buttons.
I know what you mean.
So I put on auto sprint, and it's so much easier to dodge things.
Fuck.
You
I don't
just
think I
run
have that.
away. You don't have to dodge. You just run around in a circle when you're fighting like a hard boss. Just keep running around in a circle.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's much easier.
There have been times where I thought I'm still getting used to the controls, because how many games are we playing all at once or whatever. So I'm still like, oh fuck, what's dodge? Like I'll press like B or circle on PlayStation, sorry, because that's what it is in Cyberpunk. Double tap B, and I'm like, shh, and I now do
Yeah.
the strafe.
But it's
in
not.
this-
It's
but
fucking
like
X in this.
Yeah, and I'm like, so like I'll just hit the most random shit in combat, like
Yes,
this
yes.
massive monster in front of me, and I'm like. I put up like I'll just like do like a stupid little move or something. Like, no, that wasn't what I wanted to do.
I fuck it up all the time. I
yeah,
fuck it
so
up
I'm still
constantly.
getting the hang of that.
That's amazing that you can just remap it, though. I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
that's cool.
Cool. All right. Next on our list here is gameplay.
Hell,
So the
yeah.
gameplay loop. How does the game feel? I'll start it off here. This gameplay loop is addicting. I love it. The first one was fucking awesome. Crunching
And it's
skulls.
much the same. It's much the same.
Yes, crunching skulls, chopping people in half, breaking necks.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. And the weapons with the finishers. Oh my god, I can't get enough.
Yeah,
I can't get enough.
Man, you know what it reminds me of?
I do.
The
love
Shadow
those.
of Mordor
Oh,
and
yeah?
Shadow of War. Exactly the same.
I can't get enough. Like whatever different weapon has a different finisher on different bad guys in different environments. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Oh,
I have a question
man.
regarding finishers for you guys.
Mm-hmm,
How
mm-hmm.
much of a relief is it when you see that R3 come up and you're fighting like a fucking hard boss?
Okay,
and
we'll
you're
talk
like,
about that
thank
later.
God."
We'll talk about the difficulty after.
Well,
Oh, we don't
yeah,
have
that's
that on the
that's in
list.
gameplay though. That's
Oh,
gameplay.
that's true.
Okay.
That's
We're
true.
gonna get into
I
that.
mean, do you want to talk about that right now? Because I got
Well,
a fucking thing to say
The
about
first
that.
bullet on my list under gameplay is can be difficult.
This game ain't easy,
No,
folks.
man. It's not.
Like, that's for sure. I died once in the last game.
yeah.
2018.
eh? Oh, really?
This
I
game,
die all the fucking
I
time.
have
in
never
this game.
died
yeah.
more in any other game in my life than this game. And I'm on the default difficulty.
Mhm.
Yeah, balanced.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Are they trying to make this like a Souls game or some shit?
You know
Maybe.
Is that
what?
what they're trying to do?
You know what?
Because this is the normal difficulty I'm playing on. What the fuck is this? I didn't sign up for this.
God of War.
I found Kratos is a soft ass poop sometimes.
What do you
Like
mean?
3 or 4 hits, I'm
Oh
fucking
yeah, you
dead.
take so much damage.
Like what the fuck, man? Like
yeah,
this
exactly.
creature comes up to me, fucking punches me a couple times. My life is half gone.
Yeah.
Mhm,
I'm like,
mhm,
let me check my armor. Oh yeah, I've statted in armor,
mhm.
so I've got like double the amount of armor than I do strength. How am I getting smacked like this? fucking stupid.
Yeah,
you can only take
it's-
so much.
I'll tell you right now, for anyone listening who wants to play this game, if you're, I don't know, I would say a normal difficulty would maybe be one notch lower than
Yeah.
the default.
I find that too.
It's like shoe sizes. It's like
It's
find that
so
too.
strange. Like, I don't know, because of Elden Ring maybe this year, Elden Ring.
Maybe.
It's this game versus Elden Ring for Game of the Year.
Oh,
Did they want to make this more like a From Software game? Because it is fucking hard.
Hmm.
I'm saying, I've never died this much in a game ever in my life.
yeah.
like compared to the
not to say-
2018 difficulty,
Yeah,
this
Okay,
is
yeah. Oh, yeah,
much
exactly.
harder.
Exactly what I'm saying. Like the default difficulty, I died one time maybe on the first game.
What do you guys
I've
think of
never died
Kratos,
this time.
what do you think of his death animation? He's just like
It just
falls backwards like a sack of potatoes.
get off your back. Get off your back. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so dumb. Not to say that I've died a lot. I mean, I don't typically die that much in any game I play, really. But this one, it's not
Yeah.
for the faint of heart, Harry.
it bothers me because it's just like trash mobs. That
Yes.
Exactly what I was gonna
No,
say. Yeah,
like
exactly.
let me die a million times at a boss, but like
Yeah.
a trash mob that can take half my life, like fuck off, fuck right
Yeah.
off.
I had this written down. Taking unnecessary damage.
Yeah,
It's just not because it's not forgiving. But even just dying to shit trash mobs. That's literally what I had written here. It happens
Yeah.
out of nowhere. You'll just die.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
like, what the fuck?
I had mobs
is
in
this?
brackets.
Did you guys change your rage mode to heal? Because I did.
Yes, absolutely. Another thing I was gonna say. I'm literally never full
Yeah.
health in this.
Never.
Game.
You're never full
ever.
health in this fucking game. You're never full health. I'm
Never.
always half health going into a new level. I'm like, I'm half health, and here comes 16 fucking mobs. I'm like, how am I supposed to kill all of these
Yeah.
without dying?
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
Does
No.
rage mode typically heal at all?
Oh, it will if you attack people. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. But I do like how the game guides you because Atreus
Yeah.
will say things like,
Oh
maybe
my
you should
God,
try
I was
this
gonna
after
mention
you've
that
been
actually.
fucking
Yeah.
standing there. Yeah.
The first
for
one
like
does not do that.
been standing there for 15 minutes, just like looking around with the camera.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck am I doing? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe you should do this.
And
then
I'm like-
I'm like,
Like, how the fuck was I
Yes.
supposed to know that?
I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, I will
There's
try that. I
also
was
when you're
getting
climbing
there.
on walls and stuff, it now has like directionality to all
Yeah.
your climbs.
Yes.
It's now fully visual on the rocks, like painted, like go this way, idiot.
There was
And the
there was a
first one,
part-
the
I
first
didn't
one was
have that.
not like that, man.
There was something recently where I go into and these two trash mobs, I couldn't kill them. Okay, I couldn't fucking kill these things. I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do? And I hear this throat singing going. I was like, oh, it's probably that frog thing I have to kill to render these guys like able to kill. Right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I go kill this fucking frog guy, and I still hear the singing, and I die over and over again and over and over again. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? What am I supposed to do here? Okay, and then just because the way I looked, like my camera swung over, and I saw like a shine on some bramble that I had to burn. Like I was like,
yeah.
and the bramble burns and kills the other throat singing frog. Like fuck.
Yeah, I
man.
almost got
I was
stuck
doing
with
that
that.
like 4, 6 times, 8 times. I was like,
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah,
Being
it's not-
cheesy.
I also like how Atreus will say things like when you get a choice between a side objective and the main story,
Oh,
Atreus
yeah.
will say things like, if you want to do X now, we can do Y later. I'm like, oh, that's cool because sometimes I wonder, well, what if I do that now? Am I going to miss that? Am I going to miss that opportunity to do that? Like, am I going to be able to? So I appreciate that too. A couple things I wanted to just.
Yeah, it's
touch
definitely
on.
more user friendly. It's more user friendly than the last game.
Yeah. Do you guys have a favorite weapon that you prefer? A weapon
I was
set?
gonna ask you guys this. as well.
axe. I always use
Really?
the axe all the time.
I like the other one. It does more damage.
Oh, fuck the
It's faster
blades.
to me. The other one's faster to me. The axe, I feel like it doesn't have enough reach.
got
and
range.
It's too slow.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's why I
range.
suck so much because I just won't switch off the axe.
yeah,
I just love
You
that.
got to
Probably.
switch back and forth, though. Honestly, you got to do back
Yeah.
and forth. You spec into it and you switch back and forth.
I
can't-
do, but only
no.
because it's like I feel like if one's not working for a particular enemy that has a certain
Yeah, they'll
but then
tell
you
you.
switch and you use your runic ability on both, and you switch back. You
Yeah.
gotta play your cooldowns.
This is-
Man, you gotta min max.
This is how it happens. Through the like half the game, I'm just like axe, and I just axe people, right? That's what I do. That's what I do in all games. And then when I hit a wall, right? I hit a wall where I have to do it. I'm like, fuck. So then I have to switch to the other one, burn them. Then I have to switch back. Like I can do it, but it will take like 2 or 3 deaths of me trying to just use the axe. You know what I mean?
He's using the axe against frost.
Yeah,
like enemies.
yeah. I will do that. I'm like,
It's like I'll kill you.
The opposite happened for me today. Remember I was telling you guys I was fighting that thing that was I was like, this is gonna take me all afternoon.
yeah.
And then I suddenly just switched the axe and was like, like I just kept going with the axe, and that's how I beat it. And I also was lucky enough to draw like rage mode in that final fight. So it's just like, I just fucking killed it, and I was like, okay, never mind. I guess I beat it.
The
But
axe
it's
is
funny because I
fucking
don't
awesome.
normally use the axe, and then I
I love
happen to for that. I don't know.
All right.
Cool. All right, let's head into visuals. Guys,
Yeah.
this fucking game is beautiful. It's beautiful.
I would say, I was gonna say this about the first game. Stunning. Stunning.
The first game is stunning, but this game, even more so.
I mean, it's the same. It's the same. It looks
Now-
the same.
It's got a little bit of polish. This is where, the whole like, if they left PS4 version in the dust, could they may have made this game look better?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, put some ray
Agreed.
tracing in it. You know what I mean? Put some.
I think it looks great. It looks
Oh.
really good, even without ray tracing it. There is
Yes.
good,
Yeah.
like reflections. There's good,
crepuscular rays.
yeah, crepuscular. They're crepuscular rays.
It looks good. I had actually written something here. It's funny you guys say that because I had written down, and I stand by this. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's bad or anything. I'm just saying so far, because I haven't seen the whole world yet. I haven't seen everything in the game yet. But in my 5 hours, nothing substantial has really jumped out graphics wise to me. They are fantastic, but it's nothing. It's what you'd expect from a Sony exclusive. It just looks great, like
I think
every
that's-
other Sony exclusive.
I think
right?
it's because the environments you're in the first 5 hours.
maybe
It's just like
Aren't-
snow and drab and black.
Yeah.
right.
It was just wait. Just wait.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because
Just
right
wait.
now I haven't seen an X factor that's made me stop and be like, "Holy fuck!" Like I have other games so far. So we'll see, I guess. But again, it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying they're still fantastic.
I'm gonna say for people who didn't play the PS5 remake of the 2018, like they played it on PS4 maybe, and now have a
Remaster.
PS5. They now have
Mhm.
a PS5 and are playing this one on PS5. They are in for a real treat.
Yeah.
A real treat because the PS5 remake was very much like this game.
Remaster,
Remaster, enhanced.
enhanced.
It's
Yep.
very much like this game. It's exactly like kind of the Spider-Man Miles Morales thing. They redid Spider-Man for PS5, the original PS4 version. They redid it for PS5, and it is exactly the same as the Miles Morales PS5 game. It
Yes.
was exactly the same.
Mhm.
It's very similar to that
Mhm.
that situation.
Yeah.
So if you have a
Correct.
nice HDR TV, the OLED sings. It sings
Oh, so
from
fun.
this TV. It's amazing. It's very nice.
Say, what do you think of the HDR? I was going to ask you that specifically. I mean, on my television, I can only say so much, I guess.
The HDR is amazing. Amazing.
It's so good. Yeah.
Sweet.
And on the first one as well, the 2018, it was amazing. What's his name? Mimir?
Mimir.
I think.
Mimir. The head.
Yeah.
His little eyes just shing, they shine out. It's the highlights, and there's so many energy kind of
Yeah.
highlights and
The
colors.
lightning. Yeah.
On the QD OLED, the color is so bright. It looks amazing. This is one of the best looking games I've ever seen.
Yep.
On a console for
Yep.
sure.
Cool.
100%.
It was cool.
It looked beautiful. Looked so good. The stonework, the woodwork,
Mhm.
everything was so polished and crafted and beautiful. I just
Yeah,
wanted
the
to touch it.
environments- The environments are top notch.
Yeah, it's top fucking notch,
Top
man.
blue
Like I
water
said it again.
violence.
Like I said it before. I was like, this is why you have to have a PlayStation in your house. Like, have an Xbox for everything else.
Mhm.
But when you have a PlayStation, these are the games. Like, I can't say, like, this is better. Like, how am I going to word this? You have to have a PlayStation because of these games, because I'm sorry, but Xbox is not going to have a game like this.
They don't have the same exclusive.
They don't
have the same attention.
It's like another league, man.
Man, it's the
another
developed Santa
fucking
Monica.
league.
Santa Monica is a really
It's another league.
They nailed it.
Mhm.
Like
Santa Monica.
the cinematic brilliance. It's fucking brilliant.
It's an in-house developed engine too.
Yep. And the way they upscale too. But like the photography, like the directory of the photography, the visuals, the cinematography. How about you say it?
Cinematography.
I feel like
Where's Janet?
Joe
fucking Biden.
What
Sleepy
does he
Joe.
say?
Sleepy Joe here.
Where is she? She died, sir. Oh,
The
Okay.
great nation of America can be defined by one word of through the foot. I don't even remember what he says. It was not one word. It was not a word.
Cinematography is what I was trying to fucking say.
okay.
But like, wow, the sweeping and the just the where the camera is during those scenes is it's breathtaking. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh yeah. Stunning.
But big but here for you virtual photography fans, there is no photo mode in a game that looks this fucking good. They didn't want to put a photo mode in.
Oh, there isn't the last one though.
Was there?
The 2018 one, yes, there was.
Because there ain't none in this one. And it
Yet.
pissed me off.
That
Yet.
sucks.
There
I
may
mean,
be.
But you can
this
hide the
game looks
UI.
so beautiful.
You can hide the UI though.
Oh yeah. I do that. I'm
So,
doing that now. Like
I
when
mean,
I'm
that's-
taking my photos.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah.
when I want to get a nice, cool like headshot of Kratos and the beautiful lighting they have in this game, the lighting is unfucking believable.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very good.
And when I want to just put him into a nice window lit room, into his, in the cave, and then some light flying, I just want to take some photos of Kratos and his muscles. Can I not do that?
Okay, what about the character models though? Like, I don't know what to make of Atreus' face. Like,
Ah,
what
he
is
looks
with
so
this kid's
familiar.
face?
Yes,
He
it's like
looks like
it's like
He
there's no
looks
texture. or
very
anything.
strange to me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he's very strange.
He's not. He doesn't look as good as everyone else. What is with
No.
his face? What is with this
He
kid's face? He looks.
like-
Maybe he's just very ugly. He's just a very ugly kid. His face is all fucked up. I don't know.
But like, it's because he's young, I think, and everyone else in the game is old, grizzled. They got that texture in their skin, and they're like, "Oh, this dude's young," and they like smooth his face. I'm like,
I don't know.
he has like a short chin. I feel like he's got kind of a short chin, but it looks like
Anyway,
a deliberate design.
they could be the actor they modeled him off of, who is also ugly. You don't know.
That poor bastard
Okay.
hit every fucking branch of the ugly tree coming down.
So, but what I've noticed is whenever they go in for a nice zoom, okay, bringing up Spider-Man Morales. Remember when it goes in for a zoom and you see those threads and the
Oh.
freaking pores and the threads and the clothing and the lint and the
Yeah.
and the strings. You know how
Mhm.
beautiful that looked. There's sometimes it zooms in, it's like flat texture, but that kind of, because every time in Morales when I zoomed in to take a photo in photo mode, okay, it was like perfect and beautiful.
Oh well, you may get it in an update, so just
I hope
hold
so.
your friggin' horses.
I really hope
I
so.
didn't know Miles Morales came out on PS4.
I really hope so. But like overall, like I'm nitpicking. I'm just
Yeah, of
being a
course. We're
nitpicking
discussing.
guy who's been trained by the best headshot photographer in the world to look at the details, And that's what I've noticed. But overall, like the game is beautiful. Like just like the bald head on Kratos and his skin when the light hits it, and like you see the little bumps.
The reflection off his
skin.
dome.
Man, the first
Yeah.
one was like that too. The 2018 was like that too.
Beautiful.
I'm telling you, it was really good. It's really, really good. Okay, what do you think about the UI though?
I hate it. I hate the menus. I hate going through my
They're
weapons.
disgusting.
I hate
They
going
look
through my
they're
armor.
so gross.
Hmm.
It's like everything. The one in the first game, the menus were nice and like the UI was really nice, but it's like in this one, it's like, well, we got to change it, right? We can't use the same thing, right? I mean, we can't do that. So they changed it, and now it just looked like they changed it for the sake of changing it,
Yes.
and now it's just like
I have found there's a lot of information.
they are functionally the exact same as the first game. But it looks so boring, and it's really plain, and it's not as good. It's just not as good.
I feel like it's less the beauty of it. It's more the functionality of it for me. There's a lot of information when I'm looking at
Yeah,
these
there's
menus.
so
I'm
much
like, where the
information.
fuck? What am I looking?
Yeah,
Where's
yeah,
the
yeah.
tabs again? Oh, they're at the bottom. Armor.
Well, the first one was kind of like
weapons.
that too. It was kind of like that too, but it just looked better.
Okay.
Did you guys notice how large everything is?
Mm-hmm.
How large it is.
Yeah.
The UI is very large.
Large print
I guess.
for old people. For us
And I'm like,
oldies.
just give me a nice 4K UI where I can see everything and read everything. I don't fucking have to go through all this shit. Yeah, that annoyed me.
Okay.
It's all right. I mean, you get used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it.
Well,
That's it for visuals. How about we head over to sound and music?
music.
Yeah, Daniel, why don't you take us off on the music?
Well, I had a few things written down here. The composer for this game was Bear McCreary of Walking Dead and Rings of Power fame, which I thought was kind of a cool tidbit because this guy's been kind of plowing through a lot of the film and TV world. Mostly TV, I think, for a while, especially with Walking Dead. That's kind of where I first heard of him. So he's been just kind of making a name for himself and just
Walking
kicking ass
Dead?
and
Really?
taking
I didn't
names.
know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And in my opinion, he can do no wrong just because of what I've heard. He's done some other shit too, and I don't remember what it was, but I've watched videos of him on YouTube and stuff. But he's always delivering. I trust him. And the score in the game, Ragnarok, really shined, especially in the emotional opening of the game, which obviously we won't talk too much about. But it started strong. That's all I can say.
Yes, I was gonna say.
There was a beautiful moment where I was like, but I have to do that honorable mention of the very lovely Eivor. She's a Faroese singer songwriter, and you hear her in like the beginning of the game. There's like a voice you hear singing those like kind of Norwegian melodies that just like singing on a vowel. She's not singing words or anything. And Nathaniel, you know her from Last Kingdom with Uhtred Bebenberg, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's featured in the soundtrack of that and the main theme. I follow her on Instagram, and she's lovely. She comments back. She replies back to some of my comments, and she likes them and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. And I listened to one of her albums, and I fell in love with like every track, both the English version and the Faroese version. So it's just and the Faroese version, I don't even give a shit what she's singing. That's how
What
good.
is Faroese?
It's like
What is
they're
that?
islands off of Norway. So I think it's still
Wow.
part of Norway. I don't know for sure. I don't want to like define that because I have no idea.
That's
if
so
it's
cool.
Separate. I know. But every time I hear her, she just makes the hair stand up
Yes.
on my neck when she's like doing her traditional singing and her throat singing, which she's done in the game. I noticed she does this like throat singing thing and this like rhythmic, and it's fucking sweet. Perfect. Just she's like a wonder of the world, and nobody really knows about her, which is a shame. But so far, music's been great, and I know
What's her real name again? Her real name, in case people want to
Eivor.
look at.
That's her
actual name?
Yeah, it's a real name.
Like Bjork? Like
No.
one
Yeah.
word?
Yeah, like a one-word name, Eivor.
Yeah, but that's the same name from.
It's my
Assassin's
Assassin's Creed Valhalla chick's name.
Yes, that's a
Okay,
real
okay.
name.
Okay.
It's a real human name, and it is a name.
Okay.
It's a name.
cool.
Yeah, look her up. She's fantastic. There might be a little slash through the O or something, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yep.
Yeah.
I
so
completely agree.
so far it's
Amazing.
been fantastic.
Nice.
The sound.
I like to hear that.
Mm.
The sound.
I
don't-
I haven't had that many problems. What have you guys?
No, it's not a
experienced?
problem. It's just it's not anything for me to write home about.
Mm.
Like,
Sound design
after
wise.
What
Yeah,
are you
the sound
gonna hear
design.
for sound? You have a shitty sound bar or your headphones. Like, what are you
Yeah,
gonna?
I'm wearing my fucking $300 gaming headset. Thank you very much.
Still
that has
stereo.
all the 3D audio you can handle.
You can't simulate it. You can't. You guys don't know. Let me tell you about surround
hold on.
sound. Okay.
Hold on.
You don't know about surround sound. You're wearing
Hold on.
headphones.
You don't know.
Okay. So coming from Kingdom, what's it called, Dado? Henry. Coming from
Come
Henry.
Deliverance.
Guy
Kingdom
doesn't
Come
even know what
Deliverance.
games he's playing.
Coming from Kingdom Come Deliverance, the sound in that game on
Yeah.
fucking headphones, on my Bluetooth speaker, okay? The sound in that game is fucking unbelievable. The crisp, the crunch, the pulling of my bowstrings, the creaking of the wood in my bow.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that is the shit that I
Yeah.
want to hear in my ears.
That game is
Okay.
good. That game is really
Oh,
good.
the sound in that game when I'm crunching through the forest. Just the crunching under my feet.
Mhm,
It's so
mhm, mhm.
it's like so good. It's so good. And then I come to this game, and it's good. And when I unsheath my sword, it's good. You know, it's okay.
It's
good.
okay.
Yeah, it's good. When I'm tromping around and running around, it's good. When I hit someone over there, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Well, I want to feel that crunch when I slap someone's skull in half.
Man,
you know what I mean?
very few games. Very few games.
That is the difference between what is like
Good
What-
and exceptional.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
Now, I
But
feel like it
very
depends on the
few
game. though.
games. Very few games.
Yes.
It
are
really depends on the
exceptional.
game. You're talking about
This
Kingdom
game-
Come. Kingdom Come is a
Unf-
first-person role-playing immersive
The
experience.
sound. The sound in
The
Kingdom
sound's
Come
got
is
to be top shelf.
probably the best I've ever heard out of any game. Like
Mhm.
in terms of like just detail and I don't know, clarity and just
yeah,
like
the clarity. That's it.
realism.
clarity.
I don't know. It's really good.
Like when I go around in the castles and I open doors, the creaking of the doors. Oh, I
Mhm.
could just stand there all day,
Yeah.
open and close the fucking doors all day.
Because the game is such an intimate experience. I feel like the sound
It's
comes
very
off that
intimate.
way.
Yes, intimate
Um,
sound. It's
Yeah.
it's making love to you.
Yeah,
but
my-
God
to
of
my
War is
ears.
not that kind of game.
Yeah, okay,
And maybe
yeah.
they
It's
realize,
focusing
you know,
elsewhere.
yeah.
It's focusing elsewhere.
I feel like Ubisoft sometimes has game audio issues, and I don't mean to diss them, but I just mean sometimes when I'm playing a Ubisoft game and like the sounds are really like they almost sound like they're like fucking 128 kilobyte MP3, and like the audio will drop out and totally be missing from an action. Like I'll fucking hit a guy over the head with something, and it's just nothing happens. It's like, and he just dies. And I'm like, what happened?
You're like,
there?
What were we talking
Yeah.
about? We were talking about earlier how audio or sound in games has to be accentuated,
Yeah,
right? It has
Yeah.
to be over the top to
dramatic.
bring
Has to
someone
be
in
dramatized, dramatized
to that environment, right? To bring someone in.
Yeah, it
And
has to
in
be
this game-
exaggerated.
Man, you got lighting, you got sound. I mean, it's all part of it. It's all a cohesive
Yep.
machine. It's a machine that we exist within.
What can we
What did-
expect at this orgy?
Machines.
So, Jonathan, you were talking about surround sound.
Yeah.
Let's know about the surround sound because I had got none surround sound.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if you have a surround sound, like amplifier receiver with a 7.1 in the basement, I got the 7.1. I got Dolby Atmos down there. You know, 5.1.2 actually it's called, which means 5.1, which is a traditional Dolby Digital surround sound, center, left, right, rear surround, left, rear surround, right, subwoofer is 0.1. That's 5.1, 6 channels, okay?
right.
With a 7.1, 2 more channels. You add a left speaker on the side for surround side and surround side left and right. Or with Dolby Atmos, you can take those 2 sides and put them up on the ceiling, and you get a 3D immersive sound with Atmos. That's what
That's
it's supposed to be.
And how does this game utilize that? Does it utilize?
Maybe not the Atmos, but yes, it does utilize the surround object. It's like object-oriented surround, it's called. When someone's talking and you're moving around, it's going to track you. It's going to track the object
Right.
around. So I hear Atreus or whatever,
Whining.
talking, running his bitch ass mouth. I hear him over there on the right rear.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering about that.
And it works. It's fine. The last game was also very good. But again, the quality of the sampling is, I mean, how do you sample like a fantasy game? You know what I mean? You have to make up a lot of those sounds probably.
That's
But
what
like,
they're using.
you know. But anyway, it's good. It was good. I did have some issues with my PS5. PS5 is not a great. It's not a great audio. If you have this kind of setup, it's not. There's a lot of glitches I find, and it's just. I had to like unplug all my fucking cables and plug them back in for the surround sound to start working. Because I thought the game for the first 12 hours I played, I thought it didn't have fucking surround sound, but it was my stupid PS5 that wasn't outputting surround sound.
Yeah,
I
that's
literally
stupid.
just played the first game days ago, and it was working. And then it didn't work on this one. And I had to unplug everything and plug it back. It was so stupid. Anyway.
Fuck's sake.
Let's move on.
All right, moving on to our last subject is the story. We're going to try not to spoil it.
No spoilers here.
Top shelf. Okay, the storytelling in this is amazing. It's so good. It's so
I feel like it
freaking
sets the
good.
tone. That nice opening emotional. It really sets the tone for what you can expect in the rest of the game.
I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it.
I'm constantly getting goosebumps in
Yeah.
every kind of cutscene. It's just the way they deliver it.
Yeah, I was going to say
And
that.
and it's just the way they drive the story
I
forward.
found myself being gripped.
Yes. Yep.
My cock was gripped by the cutscenes. Like, I'll put the controller down and just watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That isn't something I find I do in a lot of games.
It's hard to do that though.
Or
because
even
then
the
they'll
first
trick you.
game.
They'll trick you with an action sequence
Yeah.
prompt in
Yeah.
a cutscene. You're like, oh fuck, and you miss it.
That quick time event, you're like, ah!
Yeah.
But I find I didn't do that even in the first game. I find it wasn't as gripping as this
Mm.
one. Because I
Yes.
found the first game was more like it swelled towards the end of the story.
Like a Tarantino movie.
Yeah, but this one was like, I was like watching. I was like, okay, I'm into this now. I want to see what's
'cause
happening here.
Yeah, because this one I found. Now I love the 2018. This one, it's better. It's just better.
The story,
Yeah, like
it's
'cause
bigger too. It's
obviously-
much bigger.
It's
It's bigger,
bigger.
yeah.
That's a good word. I was gonna say it's bigger though, and watching the recap of God of War 2018, I feel like I would have identified with that story more, just because of its simple emotional core of just
Yes, it was
finding a
very-
resting place for Faye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is a lot bigger. It's a lot more. There's a lot more at stake.
Mhm.
And so
The
I don't know
story-
if I would identify with it as much. We'll see. I'm sure I'll enjoy it, and I'm liking it so far. But I do regret having not played because of that emotional element of 2018 God of War. So we'll
The-
see. I don't know.
The first one was a very intimate between a father and his son, right?
At the
Yes.
core, it was
the
family.
younger years of his son that he's raising without his wife or the kid's mother, and it was very like father son kind of thing, and very isolated. They were isolated in the first one, very much
Yeah.
so,
Mhm.
until they met Freya. But like in here in this new in the new game, Atreus is older. He's what? I don't know, 13, maybe his teens, early teens.
Oh no, he's
He's a
probably
tw-
older than that. I think he's
tween.
Yeah?
probably 16, maybe.
Okay. He's annoying.
I
He's
mean, he was annoying in the
first one.
first one.
He's annoying in this one.
Kids
You
are
wanna
annoying.
punch him in the teeth. Kids are
No,
annoying.
ain't no fucking, ain't no mystery.
Yeah.
Kids are annoying.
But like, just you can feel that disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You know,
Mhm.
you
In
can
this one,
feel
yeah.
him growing up, and I think they did that fantastic.
They did that well.
he's searching.
And yeah, and the way that they kind of take Kratos, and they just kind of separate him out,
Mm-hmm.
and they make him look like just a dad.
He's getting older. You know,
You know what I mean? Like
Getting
that
older,
way.
God of War, you know.
Atreus
Yeah.
is
Aging.
becoming because Atreus is becoming his own man now, and he's deciding what is important to him, and he's not that there's, I mean, you guys would know by now more than me, but there's that tension between the two still because they have different ideas of what should happen and what's at play. And so I feel like that's cool because at least Atreus, they're developing him that way. He's going his own way, and he appreciates the teachings of his father and all that shit, and he's still respectful toward him and whatever, but
He's got his own brain.
yeah, he's his own man. He's turning into his own man.
Without going into too much detail, I do like how they are kind of separating. They are separating
Yes.
Kratos and Atreus, and they're kind of introducing two different sides
Yeah.
of the story. Two
Right.
different.
Perspective.
You have the giants, and even as guardians now, and Kratos. You have these different perspectives now, which I really like. Without getting
It's
into too much
fantastic.
detail.
Yeah.
It is. It's really, really good. The way they made me hate Atreus in the first one, like not hate him, but like
a burden.
yeah,
Just saw him as a
he was a
burden.
fucking burden, and I didn't want to carry him around.
You're
anymore, you know
literally
what I mean?
carrying him on your shoulders in the first game.
Really, like, I couldn't stand it. And then come this game, they're really shining that light on him, and they're kind of easing you into him, and you warm up to him a lot better.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell is Kratos doing?
Yeah,
And
yes.
you're kind of
yeah.
like, go the other way. It's like,
Yeah, and you kind of side more with Atreus
like,
because
what?
like Kratos is old
what's
fucking
fucking
guy.
wrong
just-
with Kratos? What's it being
Yeah.
such a douche? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
What do you guys think of obviously I'm not going to talk too much about specifics and details, but what do you guys think of the conversation, the syntax they use in this game is very much like watching a Neil Gaiman
yes.
show, right? Where it's like the characters are like Americanized and they're like super
Yes.
colloquial.
Well,
And
I was
they-
going to mention that as well.
Okay. And they don't talk like they're really casual and they swear a lot.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. That's what I was going to say. I was like, I was going to talk about voice acting.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
well, it falls. I
The voice,
feel like
it's good. It's good.
Oh.
It's really good.
It's brilliant.
It's really good.
I love it.
But this goes for the first game as well. I would have loved a little bit more like Norwegian accents.
Accents would have been fucking
and,
hilarious.
Like,
The Etchestoop?
you know what I mean? Viking
Yeah,
accents.
I guess.
Yeah.
That would have made it would have been another layer,
Yeah.
another layer of immersion. But I mean, it's good now. It's more accessible. I would feel like, you know what I mean? They get
It would have contributed to a cultural feel if they did the accents.
it would have been
if that
so
hits
good. It would have
the
been
nails on
so
the head
nice
for some
But then you
people.
got to find voice actors that are Norwegian.
Yeah, or
that-
train them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying. This is just a nitpick, but I would have loved that. I would have loved it.
Yeah,
what else- what
I
else
felt
can I
like
say?
I was watching. I don't know why. Well, okay. Well, this is why, because I felt like I was watching Sandman and some of the
Yeah.
cutscenes because
Yes,
these
I
are
agreed.
gods speaking to each other in such a casual, down to earth way, and you're just like, this feels like I'm watching a Neil Gaiman show where it's like he puts these
Man,
gods
Sandman
in,
was so good.
in this kind of modern twist on them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, guys, that you want to add on to this episode of God of War Ragnarok
I think
non-spoiler?
we're well over time now.
Yes, this is a beefy one. This
Oh,
is
I
a
think
beefy
that's
one.
it.
Chunky.
All right, everybody, that does it for this week's episode. We want to know, have you picked up God of War Ragnarok? You probably did if you have a PS5, right? Are you going to start on 2018 and then pick up God of War Ragnarok? Or are you going to do what Daniel did so you don't miss out, you don't FOMO and watch a recap and then play Ragnarok? What are you guys going to do? Let us know. You can comment, send us those messages. Please be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and give us a rating and review on your podcast platform of choice. It helps us get out to the listeners out there who may enjoy the show. Remember, you can always leave us a DM on Facebook, Instagram, or tweet us if you want to leave a comment or ask any questions. But that's it. That does it for this week's episode. Thanks again, everyone, and hope you have a wonderful day or night.
See you later.
Later.
See ya.